Alrighty, thank you everybody for waiting. I see we still have a few more people jumping on, but we're going to go ahead and get started here. Again, good afternoon everybody. Thank you for joining us today for the Email to Case Premium Winter Release webinar. Today I am joined by Howard Yermish, who was our Director of Customer Success, and my name is Joe Reale. I'm our Product Manager here at Internet Creations. Howard and I work very closely together on discussing new features for applications, and we hope you are very happy with the updates we've delivered on that we'll be discussing today. And we just included a slide here so you kind of put a face to the name. Okay, so just to give some quick pointers during the webinar, if you have any questions, please use the GoToMeeting, or the GoToWebinar rather, control panel and post your questions in the questions box. Additionally, during the duration of this webinar, we're going to have all recipients on mute. But if you have any questions, you can post them to the publisher. Additionally, towards the end of the webinar, we'll field some questions. So we'd like to start by asking everybody, where are they calling in from? If you can, please post where you're calling from in the questions publisher. And we're just going to hang on a minute while we see some folks write in.
All right, we've got a few coming in. Knoxville, Tennessee, Phoenix, Arizona, San Francisco, Centerville, Virginia, New Jersey, Duluth, Georgia, Santa Clara, Bar Harbor, Maine. Oh, I'm going to go there over the summer. That'll be awesome. St. Paul, Minnesota, another caller from the UK, Los Angeles. It's really great to see. One of the things that I love about working at Internet Creations is our customers are all around the world, so it's really lovely to see everything come in. Santa Clara, another one from Santa Clara, Ohio, another Centerville, Salt Lake City. This is great.
These are all places I have to go visit.
Yeah. Exactly.
Just to let everybody know, in case you're not aware, we are based out of Hamilton, New Jersey, and that's shown on the background screen right there.
Yep. We also have an office in Dallas, so it's good to see everybody here. That's great. Thank you so much.
All right, and now moving on to the agenda for today. So we're going to talk about a bunch of new features that have been added to Email to Case Premium, and I'm super excited to have this webinar to share it with everybody. So I'm just going to kind of walk you through a few of the items we'll be talking through, and then we'll have a slide for each of these items to talk about it in a bit more detail. So number one, we're going to be talking about the new enhanced comment editor, and this feature provides the capability to bring on some rich text and HTML into the new comment page. Additionally, we'll be talking about canned comments, which have been a long-standing feature in the application. They also support rich text and HTML in this latest release. And we'll also make a quick note on how to add files to canned comments. That way they are also pulled in on the new comment page when responding to customers. The third item we'll be talking about is Case Presentation Layer, which has historically been offered as a paid add-on for Email to Case Premium. It's now included in the main package at no additional charge. And this replaces the standard case comments related list. And we'll give a demo of that as well. And the last item for today that we'll discuss is email distribution, which has also been historically a paid add-on for Email to Case Premium. It's now included in the main package, and it basically allows for support agents to close the loop on cases without having to log back into Salesforce. And we'll talk about that as well. After we talk about each of these new features, we're going to talk about upgrade instructions, how to get the new version of Email to Case Premium, as well as our push upgrade intended schedule. So just to make a quick note, we wanted to give out a special thanks to all those who participated in our Email to Case Premium Enhanced Comment Editor pilot program. We had about 16 participants, and everybody who was part of the program was able to give some just really terrific feedback, helping us to make minor tweaks here and there to improve the new Enhanced Comment Editor feature. So just for a little bit of bad news, you may have heard me mention that we're going to bring on some rich text and HTML capabilities onto the new comment page. Unfortunately, case comments themselves are still stored as plain text in Salesforce. This is just part of a long-standing limitation that Salesforce has had, but we have a way around it. All right. So moving right along, we'll talk a little bit more about the new Enhanced Comment Editor. Just to give a little bit of an overview on this, in our ideas community, this was the most requested feature ever that we've ever had. 340 idea points on this specific feature. Just to give a brief overview of some of the capabilities it does provide, number one, rich text formatting on the new comment page. You'll be able to use things such as bulleted and numbered lists when responding to customers. Additionally, you can insert inline images, as well as hyperlinks and much more. And just in case you missed it, on our previous slide, case comments are still plain text, but we'll show you how that works in just a minute. All right, moving right along. As far as canned comments are concerned, as I mentioned earlier, this now also supports rich text formatting and other things such as inline images and hyperlinks. So you can create your canned comments using rich text, and then that rich text will be pulled in on the new comment page. Also, a little secret about canned comments that some may not be aware of, you can add attachments and files to your canned comments. So when you're creating a new canned comment, you can go ahead and add a file using the files related list, or an attachment using the attachments related list, and that will be pulled in on the new comment page when responding to your client. All right, and now for the third feature we wanted to talk about, just before we move into a demo of these, was case presentation layer. So this has also historically been offered as a paid add-on for Email Case Premium. It's now part of the main package. Some of the main features that case presentation layer includes are the easy view of HTML emails associated with case comments, separate buttons for both public and private case comments, and lastly, the ability to track status and ownership changes.
All right, so at this point, we're going to move over into a demo of the enhanced comment editor and case presentation layer.
Okay, thank you, Howard. All right. So just to give a brief example of how this will work. So this is a standard case in Salesforce. I got this case in with a customer reporting an issue. As you can see here, this is case presentation layer. So this is the replacement for the standard case comments related list. And just to give you a bit of a kind of a comparison of how these look, this is our case presentation layer, and this is the standard case comments related list. You'll see here that we can do things like making the comments private or public, filtering on public or private comments, as well as status and ownership changes. And from the get-go, we can also decide to make our comment public or private. One other big feature about this is the ability to view HTML emails associated with the comment, and also incoming attachments. So now I got this case in, so I'm going to go ahead and respond using the new comment button. And you'll see that the new comment page now loads with a rich text editor, where I can do things such as bolded text, italics, bulleted lists, numbered lists. I can also add tables, insert an image or link, things of that nature. So I've already created a canned comment to show you how the inline images work with that, as well as on the new comment page. So I'm just going to pull in this canned comment to respond to the customer. They were reporting an issue with case flags not aging as expected. So I already have a canned comment that I'm going to use to address their issue. We'll go ahead and insert that. And you'll see here, the canned comment that I've created has some rich text as well as an inline image already built in. So I have some bolded text, italics here. I have my inline image. And I forgot to create a contact with it, so I'm just going to go ahead and respond. In fact, I will add Howard here as well.
Oh, good.
And you can see here, I've also have an attachment that I had as part of my canned comment that was pulled in, this end user guide. So what I'm doing here is I'm responding to the customer with what I believe the problem may be, but I'm also providing additional documentation via this link. So I'm going to go ahead and send that away. Alrighty. And then if I go back here, I can see that my case comment, it was stored as plain text, but what the customer received was actually this HTML version. As you can see here, it has exactly what was on the new comment page. It has the bolded and italicized text, as well as my inline image. So I think that covers most of how the new comment page will work when the enhanced comment editor is enabled, as well as case presentation layer. Just to touch upon canned comments real quick, I'm just going to go to the canned comment I created. So this is my canned comment. We're storing both a plain text and a rich text version of that. As you can see here, we've also included some additional merge fields. And I have my file attached to this canned comment. So whenever this canned comment is used on the new comment page, it's always going to pull in this specific file. And that will be included in the email to the customer.
Great. So at this point, let's switch back. Do you want to talk about email distribution?
Yes, we can certainly do that. Okay. Okay, and now for the last main feature of the new build for Email to Case Premium, email distribution. So as I said before, it enables agents to close the loop on support cases, and they can do that from responding to emails in their inbox without having to log into Salesforce. Now I'm going to kind of walk through an example of this. So let's say a support agent is working a case, and he sends a reply to a customer regarding the issue that the customer was facing. The case owner then needs to leave the office for a few hours to go to a doctor's appointment. While waiting at the doctor's office, the customer responds to the support agent. Email distribution will fire out an email to the case owner with the latest comment added by the customer. From there, the agent has two options. He can either wait till he gets back to his desk to respond to the customer using Salesforce, or he can respond directly from his inbox. If he takes the route of responding from his inbox, possibly from his mobile phone, his inbound email will get logged as a case comment, and then that comment will be sent out to the customer. So it allows the support agent in that instance to respond to the customer without having to go back into Salesforce. So now, just for some information on moving to production, we do have a knowledge base article here with some more directions on how to configure the enhanced comment editor and some of the other surrounding features. So it is documented in our knowledge base. Also, some more information about case presentation layer and email distribution can be found in our main documentation. So that's docs.internetcreations.com. There's a specific tab for each of those new features. One major thing to consider, besides just the general enablement steps that we provide in that knowledge base article, if you have any existing canned comments that you would like to update to use rich text, we recommend go ahead and do that. As of right now, all of your canned comments are probably just stored with plain text, but you can certainly go ahead and update them to use or to utilize rich text. Okay, now, as far as the timeline is concerned for this new build of Email to Case Premium, Email to Case Premium 5.0 is available on the App Exchange today. It was just put up this morning, so you can go ahead and install this new version at any time. As far as our push upgrade schedule is concerned, our intended schedule is to push this new version to all sandboxes on January 10th, and to push this to all production orgs on February 7th. Just to make a quick note on this, the enhanced comment editor is disabled by default for right now. So if we push upgrade you and you haven't gotten a chance to enable all the settings that go along with the enhanced comment editor feature, there's no need to worry. They'll just be there for you when you're ready to go ahead and enable that. And we've also provided some instructions here on how to go ahead and install from the App Exchange. You can also visit the App Exchange directly and just type in Email to Case Premium, and the latest version will be up there. You can go ahead and install from there. So this is just a little side note regarding Web to Case. This is not directly related to Email to Case Premium, but this was an announcement recently made by Salesforce that we wanted to share with all of our customers. So Salesforce is replacing their old endpoint that receives form submission data with a new endpoint on January 12th of this upcoming year. So if you're a customer that's using Web to Case or Web to Lead on your site, you're going to have to update the HTML code before January 12th, or your forms will cease to create new cases or leads in Salesforce. And we've also included some more information on how to go about doing those changes in this slide here.
And we do have a couple of questions that have come in through the chat. For some of them, I've already answered them privately. So the first one that I want to go to is this question that is, for the email that goes out to the customer when the agent emails from their inbox, can it be set for the email to be sent from a generic support email address, or it will be the agent's own email address? That's
actually a really great question. So by default, we're going to use the organization-wide address that would otherwise be used if the agent logged into Salesforce and responded. So for example, if I'm responding to an email to case premium support case from my inbox, Howard, and I send an email back onto the case, the customer is going to receive an email from the email to case premium support address, just as if I went into Salesforce and sent it directly there. We also provide the capability to alter the display name on the email that the recipient receives to show who the email was actually coming from.
Great. The next question that came in is, do we need to change the template that we use to send rich text?
So the answer to that is yes. Well, you may not have to change the template per se, but you will need to change which fields are included in the template. As part of this new build for email to case premium, there's 2 new fields, most recent public comment HTML and most recent private comment HTML. So those will need to be factored into your email templates in order for customers to receive the HTML versions of what you're sending them. So the template itself does not necessarily need to be changed, but it will need to be updated. Out of the box, we are providing a single HTML a single template that's using these merge fields.
The next question is the case presentation layer available in Lightning? Is it Lightning compatible?
Yes, it is fully Lightning compatible.
And we have another question. How do you distinguish when a comment is made by email to case instead of through a portal, so we don't have duplicate notifications to case owners when there is a new comment on the case?
Okay. Let me just read that one more time here. Gotcha. So the main way to distinguish a comment that was created by email to case premium versus a comment that was created by the portal is the created by user. So for example, if I go into my my dev org right here, let me just move this out for a second. When this first comment came in from the customer, it was created by my email to case premium context user, which I have set up just called automated user. So that is the primary method to determine if an email or if a comment was created by a portal user or community user versus the email to case premium context user. Just to make a quick note on that as well, for email distribution is only invoked when an inbound email is received through the package. So if a comment is added in a community by a customer, it's not going to invoke email distribution to send a notification to the owner.
These are great questions. Thank you all. All right. Well, if there aren't any more questions, then let's wrap this up. And by wrapping it up, I mean just saying, hang on a second, thank you to you all. Thank you for joining us. I really appreciate that. There are a few other questions that are starting to pop in, so we're going to still hang out a little bit, but we're going to wrap things up. So at this point, thank you all. Thanks to the participants in the pilot program, and thanks for joining us on this webinar.